So coming to the topic of pollution. So the pollution broadly we can divide into. So the pollution, what are the things that are getting polluted? On that basis, you can divide this pollution into air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution. You know that because increased of application of technology, man's eagerness to increase his production and economic well-being, this caused enormous changes in climate. So any change in the composition of atmosphere, either air, water, or other things, you can call it pollution. So in this revision, I'll only highlight few important things. Other things you have to read. Many memory-based concepts are there. But this is also very important from NEET point of view because ecology is carrying greater weightage. Now pollution, it can be air pollution, water pollution, or soil pollution. Similarly, soil pollution can be positive or negative pollution. Something is getting added, we can call it positive. A smooth or delicate soil is lost, then it is negative. Then it can be natural or man-made. Pollutants, when we classify, one criteria you can say natural. Natural, what could be the cause for natural pollution? If you think for this, then you should say volcanic eruptions can produce sulfur dioxide and other carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide. Forest fires can also be natural causes. Then another way pollutants can be divided is as primary and secondary. For example, a pollutant directly released from polluting agent like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide can or oxides of nitrogen can be called as primary. If you take the O3, ozone released during photochemical smog formation, and acid rain, some of the air pollutants when they react in the atmosphere they combine and form acid rains. So these are the two methods by which you can classify the pollutants. Now, so thus air pollution, it causes there are many reasons like particulate matter, some aerosol particulates less than 2.5 micrometers is dangerous. It was declared by CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board. It goes and settles down in the lungs. Then it causes greater harm. Many gaseous pollutants produced by various environmental agents like motor vehicles and other things. Industrial effluents, these are all. So they are creating many respiratory problems, particularly respiratory problems, inflammation, allergy. Now control methods like scrubbers and electrostatic. So what are the now options left? Internationally, Euro norms are followed like Euro 1, 2, 3, 4. Corresponding to Euro, these norms, India has adopted Bharat Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3. Now we are mostly from 2017 itself, Euro 4 norms are nowadays followed. Then the control of in air pollution, we have a lot of particulate matter and particulate matter, sulfur dioxide. Our electricity dependence is mainly on thermal power. Because of thermal power, we extensively started using coal, and all our automobiles also use a lot of release a lot of carbon and sulfur dioxides. Now, particularly the electrostatic precipitators and scrubber. Here, you look into the scrubber. Scrubber is Scrubber is the one which is specially used for the purpose of elimination of sulfur dioxide. Whereas electrostatic precipitators are specially used for eliminating particulate pollution, right? And they release the sulfur dioxide when it is passing through this. Effluents are passing through this like this, and dirty air is entering and coming out. Finally, the particulate matter settles down. So it settles down by coming through this root and fresh air will be leaving it. Constantly lime water is sprayed that will precipitate the sulfur dioxide. Here the dirty air is passing through this electrostatic precipitator. Then what it will be doing is they'll be charged, the particles will be charged, negatively charged. So here the collecting plates are positively charged, so they attract these things. So in addition to this, you should also remember that there are also used catalytic converters. They're called catalytic converters. These catalytic converters use rhodium, platinum, palladium like costly metals. That's why nowadays, following these Euro norms or Bharat stage, nowadays India is going to directly enter into Bharat stage 6 from 2020. We are supposed to go. Now, these catalytic converters are able to convert oxides of nitrogen getting converted to nitrogen. So oxides of nitrogen are dangerous. They can create acid rains that changes the pH. And similarly, the unburnt hydrocarbons present can be converted into water and carbon dioxide. You know, carbon monoxide is more dangerous and it can be converted to carbon dioxide. Carbon monoxide, if it combines with hemoglobin, what is formed? Carboxyhemoglobin. That will influence directly transport of oxygen. So headache, nausea, in higher doses, even death can be caused. That's why it is converted to less toxic product. Then, so thus air pollution. Nowadays, air pollution is controlled through various acts and various control measures are suggested for industries. But sound is another problem because all these industrial and other things sound intensity increased, and sound is measured in decibels. To control sound pollution, what are used? Green mufflers, means using of trees is known as green mufflers that will check the spread of sound. Now water pollution. Water is polluted by industrial effluent, domestic sewage. So these industrial effluents contains lot of toxins. For example, mercury caused a mini Mata disease in Japan. So mercury, cadmium, arsenic like that they caused a blackfoot disease and itai. These are the other things. Now another major thing in water pollution is domestic sewage rich in organic waste. When this organic waste, enriched waste is dumped, so when the organic waste is getting dumped into this, let us say this is a place when sewage is getting added. When sewage is getting added, what will happen is that is the place, exactly in this place, suddenly biological oxygen demand will increase. Means the microbes require oxygen for the breakdown of organic waste, that is called biochemical oxygen demand or biological oxygen demand. BOD is increasing, means the dissolved oxygen, you observe here, dissolved oxygen is lowest here. That is also a place where BOD is highest. Where dissolved oxygen is decreasing means demand is increasing. When it is moving away in a particular direction, the other fresh water getting mixed, then it will create that the BOD is slowing, coming down. So thus BOD is an important measure how water is get polluted, how much it is getting polluted. So we are just discussing the major topics here because now two major concerns in present society is two things. One is global warming or greenhouse effect. Second one is ozone depletion. So these are the two major things. And continuously the high energy radiations, long wave radiations coming from the sun during daytime, it gets reflected back. It gets reflected back during, normally it should get reflected back during night time. But during daytime, it is coming in this way, right? And uh, what these greenhouse gases are doing, trapping this heat radiation and making them back circulate along with the earth. So it is getting circulated there itself, so that heat is not getting dissipated. So it is not getting lost, so it is there itself, so that creates a lot of problems. Increase in temperature globally. Natural greenhouse effect is also there, that is useful. Otherwise, earth temperature would have been minus 18 degrees centigrade as against around plus 15. So that's why we say this is man-made greenhouse effect or global warming. Similarly, enrichment of organic, just now we discussed BOD, that leads to eutrophication, enrichment of nutrients in the aquatic. That is also, it can be man-made and natural. So by waste like phosphate, sulfates getting added, there is more and more nutrients getting added. So unsuitable for fishes and other things. You also notice this point now. So here, what are the greenhouse gases in their contribution? Highest is carbon monoxide, second highest is methane, then chlorofluorocarbons. They are also responsible for depletion of ozone, then N2O, another one, right? So you should remember there are important things like Montreal Protocol. So this Montreal Protocol, then Kyoto Protocol, then Earth Summit, then World Summit on Sustainable Development. The three major events for controlling the pollution. So the Montreal Protocol took place in the year 1987. And Montreal Protocol is for the purpose of controlling ozone depleting gases, for controlling ozone depletion things. After that, several steps were taken by international bodies to minimize the ODS, ozone depleting substances, are controlled. The Montreal Protocol, it was in Japan, held in 1997. You can also say it is one of the important step various countries decided to take, but not that much expected level results could be noticed, because what we think and what we achieve, there will be certain gap, like that it happened there also. So the Kyoto Protocol can also be called COP3, so Convention of Parties. Then, so that is to control global warming. This is related to global warming. Then Earth Summit, that is in the year 1992. They gave a beautiful slogan. It held in Rio de Janeiro, and that is think globally, act locally. If these steps were taken, most of the global problems arising nowadays could be controlled, right? Similarly, World Summit on Sustainable Development, that is another major thing, happened in 2002. So there were major, so another thing is elimination of solid waste is also a problem. Radioactive waste elimination. Try to look into all those examples like Ramesh Chandra Daggar, zero waste production, Ahmed Khan Patel. He developed a method of using polyblend then Friends of Arcata Marsh, how they developed methods. These are all case studies mentioned in the book, so you should see. So zero waste is Ramesh Chandra Daggar, Ahmad Khan Patel to prevent plastic, and plastic can be used like that. Several people worked for the protecting the earth, like wildlife and other things. And Sundarlal Bahuna and other people are like this. Then few important acts are there. Environmental Protection Act 1986, that was after Bhopal gas tragedy which happened in 1984. Then Air Act, first Water Act was there in 74, and then Air Act was amended to include noise 87. So you also remember uh, another major thing, Chipko movement for protection also happened in 1974. Chipko movement also happened in 1974. That is not an act, but a national forest policy, that is in 1988. According to this national forest policy, plains should have 33% of forest cover, and hills should have 67% forest cover. So because forest cover percentage is coming down globally, including India, so India is no exception. So thus various steps are required. There's all these points, other things like Euro 1, 2, 3, 4 norms and all those points. You have to go through this. The major points we have discussed. So have a good time.